Before the season even began, Baylor and Oklahoma was being touted as the game of the year in the Big 12. Well, that hype may have lost some of its luster, but the significance did not. That's right, Jeremy, and Hollywood producers couldn't have written a better script for this. It's #1 versus #2 for the Big 12 Tournament Championship. Here we are, Central Texas. We have reached the end, the final week of the regular season, which means tonight's Elite Sports Medicine Sports Friday is all about playoffs. Kevin Reese is back for the first time since that early November injury against Oklahoma. Well, how about this? District 10 3A Division I includes two-time defending state champ Cameron Yo and Rockdale, a team that was unbeaten and ranked 3rd in the state just a couple of weeks ago. But the district title may not belong to either of those teams. Instead, Academy controls its fate and the road to that district championship.
What is it about Coach Browse that all these guys want to come play for a guy like him?
Those fans would not be on the boats, they wouldn't be on the bridges, they wouldn't be in this stadium without the generous support of lots of Baylor alumni, but in particular, Mr. Drayton McClain.
Number 28, Nathaniel Thomas.
As the final horn sounded, the crowd was stunned.
They look and they have to do a double take and make sure what they just saw is what they just saw.
Jim Burks, a 29-year coaching veteran, couldn't believe his eyes.
I had to get my book of stuff I've never seen and take it out and write some stuff down in it, you know, because of this young man.
That young man is 12-year-old Ethan Muncie.
Only 2 times.
Ethan is a starting linebacker for the Lampasas 7th grade team. Coach Burks said if they kept stats in middle school, then Ethan leads the team in interceptions, is top 5 in tackles.
On the tackle, number 9, Ethan Muncie.
And far surpasses everyone in love of the game.
Overnight sensation.
He's got as much determination as I've seen.
I just liked football since I was little.
But what's truly remarkable is that he's even playing football at all. Ethan was born with no feet and only one of his hands.
I thought he was going to have a lot of difficulties in life and stuff that he wouldn't be able to do.
But when he was 5, she agreed to let him play flag football.
I was a little nervous about it at first.
In 7 years of football, Ethan has never scored a touchdown.
Let's go.
But he played well enough to earn a spot on his middle school team. And in order to play at school, he's required to wrap his prosthetics in tape, foam, and more tape. But all that did was slow him down.
The balance is kind of hard in knees. Yeah.
So Ethan asked his coach a crazy question.
Can I just play without my prosthetics? And which really kind of knocked my hat in the water.
Without feet, Ethan was faster and more athletic. But the real payoff came just a couple of weeks ago in a district game against Gatesville.
It was one of those things that you kind of wish you could freeze in time.
With just a few minutes to play and Gatesville trying to mount a comeback, Ethan made the most memorable play in school history.
Right when he looked my way, I could tell that he was throwing this way.
Ethan read the quarterback perfectly, intercepted the ball, and ran 50 yards, scoring the first touchdown of his life.
I was actually excited, and all my friends and everybody were just cheering for me.
A lot of the coaches we coach against, they'll come pull me off to the side, and is that kid serious? Well, yeah, look at him. He just scored a touchdown on you, Coach. How serious do you think he is?
That touchdown didn't decide the outcome of the game, but it did have a profound impact.
It was an emotional moment. It was exciting and it brought tears to my eyes.
It just shows what a kid can do given a chance. And that's what most kids need these days is a chance.
Because he is disabled.
Ethan, do not let them get on your outside. Okay?
Ethan says he's used to people staring, but not like this, because now they're looking up to him. Sean Giggy, News 10 Sports. Baylor getting a much better performance here at home on homecoming after its first loss of the season 2 weeks ago at West Virginia. The Bears defensively gave up less than 40 yards rushing against Kansas. Offensively, they got back to form. Baylor putting up 60 points, and at one point they scored on 12 straight possessions. So looking like the Baylor that we all know and love. But after the game, quarterback Bryce Petty didn't want to talk about any of it. Instead, he answered every single question the same exact way.
Yep, just ready for OU. Is something just not clicking at the moment with you in the receiving corps?
No, just ready for OU. Brian Kaufman, News 10 Sports. Are you ready for OU?
Yeah, ready for OU. Yep.
Petty's interview lasted only 3 more questions, and he answered every one the same exact way. So what does head coach Art Briles think about his quarterback being so tight-lipped?
I like it. I should do the same. No, I mean, I'm proud that his focus and his energy and his vision is directed right there, right now.
So obviously, Petty, Briles, and the Bears are ready for Oklahoma. That game will kick at either 11 a.m. or 6:30 p.m. Saturday in Norman. We'll have that kick time for you on Monday. Now, also today, earlier, TCU beat West Virginia by a point, which means now, if the Bears win out, they control their own destiny, and they can win the Big 12 championship if they win the remainder of their games. But for now, from McLean Stadium on homecoming, I'm Sean Giggy. Back to you. Before the season even began, Baylor and Oklahoma was being touted as the game of the year in the Big 12. Well, that hype may have lost some of its luster, but the significance did not. Both teams still alive in the hunt for a spot in the college football playoffs. Baylor, though, with only 1 loss, more likely in position to get a playoff spot if they can win the rest of their games. But they've never won in Norman, 0-11 all time, and early on, it looked like that was going to continue. First quarter, Oklahoma up 7-3. Trevor Knight to Deron Neal, 9-yard touchdown. Sooners up 14-3 just like that, but the rest of the way was all Baylor. Second quarter, Bryce Petty going deep to Corey Coleman. Beautiful throw. Coleman hauls it in for the touchdown. Coleman had a career-high 15 catches, 224 yards today. Ensuing drive for Oklahoma. This really changed the momentum of the game. Bryce Hager picks off Knight. Hager all the way back to the 1. That's his first career interception. Devin Chafin punched it in on the next play. Now on the next Baylor drive, it took more than 4 minutes. It's Chafin again, finishing off 2 yards this time. 24-14 Baylor at the half. Third quarter, as I said, Corey Coleman, big day receiving, but also getting it done on the ground. Takes it in from 5 yards out. 31-14 Baylor rolling. Fourth quarter now, it's Shock Linwood's turn. 15-yard touchdown, bouncing off some tacklers. After trailing 14-3, Baylor scores 45 unanswered. They win 48-14. Brian Kaufman has more from Norman. Thanks, Brian. Elsewhere in the Big 12, Texas trying to win back-to-back games for the first time this season, hosting West Virginia. Second quarter, it's 7-3 Texas. Jonathan Gray slips 1 tackle and another, and he is gone down the sideline. Going to dive in and hit the pylon. 39-yard touchdown, 14-3 Longhorns. Later in the quarter, Gray, this time from 2 yards out, 21-3 Texas. Gray had 10 carries, 101 yards, 3 touchdowns. Texas wins 33-16. Well, do you remember when Texas A&M blew out 9th-ranked South Carolina in the opening game of the season? Yeah, that was a long time ago. South Carolina no longer ranked, and the Aggies haven't beaten a ranked team since. Hoping to change that today in a big way against 3rd-ranked Auburn. And A&M looks like a completely different team than the one that played the last 4 games. Up 7-0, Kyle Allen to Josh Reynolds. He goes 36 yards for the score. Surprising 14-0 lead. Sorry, that was early on. That made it 7-0. Now this to Ricky Seals-Jones makes it 14-0 right here. But late in the game, it's a 3-point Aggie lead. Auburn with a chance at the field goal. They're on the A&M 20, but they fumble the snap. Aggies recover in the final minute. And Texas A&M, the improbable upset, knocking off the 3rd-ranked team in the country, 41-38. The Mary Hardin-Baylor football team clinched a spot in the NCAA Division III playoffs with a huge 84-13 win over Howard Payne. They also clinched at least a share of the ASC championship. The crew had 6 interceptions in the game. State cross-country meet today. 2A girls, Rosebud Lott's Kiana Whitfield finished 2nd overall. Crawford was 9th as a team. And the 3A boys, good showing for Bruceville. Eddie Kyle Doty wins the individual title in a time of 15 minutes, 47 seconds. His teammate Darren Allen right behind. They led the Eagles to a 9th place finish as a team. 3A girls, Clifton's Eliza Dwaynes finished 5th. Whitney's Mate Arredondo was right behind in 6th. Academy finished 9th as a team. 4A boys, Robinson with a big day. Austin Spear led the Rockets with a 6th place finish. Michael Fuentes just 4 seconds behind in 7th. Robinson finished 3rd as a team. And in the 4A girls meet, Fairfield finishing 9th as a team. The Mary Hardin-Baylor volleyball team, well, they win their first conference championship since 1998 with a 3-1 win over UT Dallas. The crew gets the ASC's automatic bid to the NCAA Division III tournament. And in TAPS volleyball, the 2A state championship, Live Oak falls to Brazos Christian in straight sets.